Hey guys, Pup C here. So this is my new podcast, Pup C Vegan News. I actually got inspired to create it just because I was posting so much information that I had found on BlueSky, the new app BlueSky. So lots of great posts and activity there. At this point, I have over 500 things that I've posted about. It's just news that happens throughout the week. What's the latest and greatest going on in the vegan world? So I wanted to be able to share that with people who don't go on BlueSky, are not into reading through all these articles, and at least you guys can keep up to date with what the heck is going on. So this first episode, I'm going to be going back in time right to the beginning, my first post, which was Betty White has her own U.S. Postal Service stamp. It has nothing to do with veganism, but it's my first post because I was really excited when I saw that pop up. Anyways, from there, I just go through an assortment of news and animal rights websites to find what's happening out there in the vegan world. So some of the highlights, I'll just kind of scroll through all of my posts since that first one to see what I can share. We've had the Veg News 2024 Restaurant Awards. So if you haven't heard Veg News, every year they do a vote. It's totally free. You can go on there and vote for your favorite restaurants. They have one for products, vegan cheeses, and all kinds of things. So I love participating in those and seeing who wins. Is it anyone that I voted for? And also you can find out about a lot of new restaurants, new products as well. Some other things I found out that were interesting were articles just about how veganism saves you money at the grocery store. A lot of times people like to say veganism is so expensive, which I find insane. I literally Google the word cheapest foods and guess what pops up? A whole list of vegan foods. We got lentils, we got frozen vegetables, we have seasonal fruits, the grains. It's just ridiculous. So that argument about veganism being expensive is absolute madness. There's lots of stats out there to disprove it. There was also released a top 100 vegan restaurants in the US by Yelp. So Yelp had their own top 100. I added to the list places that I love and didn't see on there. If you're in California, in San Diego, I love me some Peace Pies. It's this amazing raw vegan cafe. They inspired me to make my own raw vegan Caesar salad. Oh my gosh, so tasty over there. Great desserts. Wow. Same with Wild Living Foods. They're in downtown LA. Amazing raw vegan cuisine. Oh my goodness, chef's kiss. Again, same thing in Orange County. We got a raw vegan place called Alak, and it actually has a cooked menu as well. So it's all vegan. And you can bring friends there. They don't want raw vegan food. That's fine. A whole menu item or menu of vegan cooked foods and then another menu of vegan raw foods. And unfortunately, isn't it always the case they sometimes get rid of your favorite things? Like back in the day, Native Foods, if you've ever been there, they had chili cheese fries and they were amazing. Vegan chili cheese fries. They got rid of it on their menu. I'm like, why am I here? No, lock. I still love them, but they had this amazing mashed potato and it was so good and they got rid of it. So sad. I'll always be bothered by that. Anyway, still a great place to eat in Orange County, California. Another one in Orange County is Bode Tintamche. They are chef's kiss for Vietnamese food, over 100 vegan menu items. The best is their vegan chicken pho. I think it's number 87 on the menu. It is fantastic. Very affordable, very delicious. Heck yes. And then in Oahu, if you're in Oahu and you like some pizza, there is this amazing place. I was going to say incredible. It's incredible. It's amazing. It's fabulous. It's called Floralia. It's in Oahu. Amazing. Floralia. Gotta get some. And then lastly, I'll say my favorite place to eat here on Oahu is gonna be Leahi Health. They have a few locations, but it's fantastic. I usually get their kale, I was gonna say kale bowl, but it's just a kale salad. I think they call it Baja Bowl. So Baja Bowl, no rice, amazing, delicious. If you want to substitute the hummus for the mock, okay, I'm going in the weeds. back on track to all the newest vegan updates in the news. There's also studies that show plant-based meat cuts environmental impact. No shit. A lot of these articles, if you're a vegan, it's just like, yeah. But I do post them because sometimes you have like new vegans or people who are curious and then they don't know these things. So I just like to share the information. Also, another article was from plantbasednews.org. It was titled, "Plant Protein is Equal to Meat. Beef Industry Funded Study Finds." That's always nice when the meat industry funds a study and it proves that, the plant version is better. So I like stuff like that. What else? There were articles. Oh my gosh, this is in Thanksgiving, how to keep your animals safe. I love that. Going on another rant for holidays and pets. 4th of July. Well, yes, 4th of July, but I was thinking of New Year's too. We had New Year's here and the fireworks are crazy. So in Oahu, where I'm at, it's illegal to have fireworks, but like no one cares and it's crazy. And I just always feel so bad for the animals. I'm like, they probably think that we're under siege in war, in a battle, like the birds, the cats that are abundant and wild here. There's so many feral cats, my goodness. But all these animals are probably like, oh my God, it's the end of the world with these fireworks going off. And then pets in the home even. They're just like, what is happening? This is crazy. Even for me, I'm like, this is not that fun. So I know a lot of people like fireworks, but I just think they're not just overrated, but I'm not a fan. Hot take, fireworks, not cool. Sorry, I'm not impressed. It's like bright, shiny things, super loud. Like, yeah, no, not for me, not exciting. I know that's a terrible hot take. People will be angry, but I'm just going to put it out there. Fireworks, not a fan. Moving on. There was also an article in Plant-Based News that said vegan and vegetarian diets are on the rise in UK care homes. That's awesome. I think it's really on the rise everywhere. That's kind of the theme I've been seeing. Another article talks about Stanford engineers and how they're developing 3D texture to make plant-based meat precisely as people desire. So here's my commentary on that. When I first went vegan, I used to, as a meat eater, love cheeseburgers. I had like a cheeseburger every day. I would make my own. I would buy them out and about. So when I first went vegan, they didn't have Beyond Meat and Impossible Meat. This is back in the day. And so when I tried to get a veggie burger, it was legit veggie. Like you saw the veggies, you tasted the veggies. It was just a patty made of veggie. No joke, no camouflaging that. I was so pissed because it was really overnight for me. I just went cold turkey vegan, which I could get into another day. But I was just annoyed. And so now, so many years later, I much prefer things that taste like veggie. I am creeped out by and don't like things that taste like meat. But back then, and I'm sure for a lot of new vegans and vegetarians, they do want something that tastes like meat because they're probably doing it for health or ethical reasons or environmental reasons. There's so many reasons to go vegan. So I am glad that there are a team of people, probably lots of teams everywhere, working on making plant-based meat the most realistic ever. Good, because there's a market for that. It's not currently me, but definitely it's a needed thing for the public. Another fun article talked about the top 10 most friendly vegan cities. So the list there, it started with number 1 being London, 2 was Berlin, Los Angeles, Portland, Oregon, Lisbon, Barcelona, Amsterdam, Mexico City, New York, and then Ho Chi Minh City. So those are the top ones. And this is from happycow.net. So that's their ranking system. Oh my gosh, there's so many articles. I don't want to stop on all of them because I'll be here forever talking. Well, let's see. What are some other bangers? Okay, Wicked, when that came out, it was released that the two main stars are both vegan. So if you didn't know, they are, and they look fabulous. So go with them. What else? There's so many recipes that I post because sometimes people are like, what do I do? I know when I first went vegan, I didn't know what the hell to eat. I lost a lot of weight too because I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And then I had so many people who were vegan telling me like, oh, you can't have that because it has sugar. I'm like, sugar is vegan? They're like, no, because it's like mainstream sugar, like C&H brand sugar. They use bone char, to produce their sugar and refine it. And I'm like, what the heck? I literally wrote a letter to C&H Sugar, the company, and I said, hey, I was so innocent. I'm like, hey, you should label vegan, put it on your packaging because, some people think it's not a vegan product, and I know you guys are just sugar, you should do that. They wrote me back, guys. They wrote me back. C&H Sugar wrote me a letter back. And they said, oh, sorry to let you know, but yeah, we cannot label ourselves as vegan because we do use bone char. I'm like, oh, it's real. I mean, they were honest. So points for that. But nowadays, at this point, I'm like, the amount of animal products that is used in our modern life, it's so enmeshed in our modern life. You can't escape it. So you just do your best. And like, I'm not down with vegan bashing, like vegan on vegan bashing, vegan on vegetarian bashing. At this point in my life, I'm like, yo, anyone who's trying to do anything to be helpful to what's going on with animals, fantastic. If it's selfishly for their own health, they're like, I just want to eat more plants, fantastic. If it's for the environment, awesome. Whatever. It's like, because the ultimate thing is that it does have a major impact on animals, and it helps them when people eat and choose vegetarian and vegan options. So I am not into bashing on or hating on any vegans, vegetarians, people dabbling and trying that lifestyle. I am all about it. I support it. Yes. Anyways, this is a long tangent, but the point being, sometimes people who do bash, it's just like, what is even the point? Because, people drive cars. Guess what the tires in your cars are made of? Oh, there's animal products in there. Are you just not going to drive? And if you don't, are you not going to take an Uber, a Lyft, ride a bus ever? Do you ever write on pieces of paper, print things out on paper, have pamphlets? I know like people love to pass out their pamphlets or whatever. Paper has animal product in it. The glue that binds the paper, animal product. I mean, literally, you guys, it's just everywhere. Like, we cannot escape it. One day, some blissful future, there'll be a point when I think we don't use animal products. There'll be other things binding the paper in our tires. Maybe we won't have tires. Who knows? But it'll be a better future. I do believe that, if the human race survives, I think we're going to be vegan and not do what we do to animals. It's horrific. But for the time being, it is something that's really inescapable. So when you're bashing on someone for consuming something that they think, like Oreos, they read the ingredients and they're like, oh, great, no dairy in it, no eggs in it, no animal products, awesome, Oreos. And then someone's like, no, it has sugar and it's probably refined sugar with bone char. It's like, yo, like this person, I really think is doing their best. Because if you're at the point where you're aware of that kind of thing with sugar and bone char and you're choosing differently, that is amazing. Absolutely amazing. But you're at a different point than someone who's like new to veganism and is just trying to figure it out. Like, what is veganism? Oh my God, there's so much like dairy and eggs and everything, and beef fat in all of the Hostess products. They're all full of beef fat. Even McDonald's French fries, they use beef fat for their fries. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. So when you're like getting on someone for like, oh, that sugar, please chill. Like, this person's trying, someone is trying to be vegan and vegetarian. Like, let's give them a little slack. Like, let's, so that's my personal opinion, because it really is a lot of information. And when you are starting out as vegan vegetarian, you're hit from all sides with people in your life who are like, excuse me, what? Where do you get your protein? You're gonna die. Anemia. What is going on? You're an insult to the family. You're defying your culture's food. Whatever, these things that people say are like, it's a lot to deal with. And then, like I was saying, when I started being vegan, I didn't know what to eat. I ran to people, told me about the sugar. I'm like, oh damn, what am I going to consume? I bought a vegan cookbook. I'm like, I just better follow this like the Bible. I had one vegan cookbook, and I think it was really focused on Thai food, and I never really ate Thai food at that time. I was just like, I spent my money on this one cookbook. I'm gonna cook what's in it, and it was a lot. I think I made like a coconut curry soup or something like that, and at that time I didn't like coconut milky things. I didn't like curry, but I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm just making the food. It's vegan. Like, I'm trying to be a good vegan, like, do the right thing. It was madness. Anyways, that's a whole other thing, my whole start to veganism, but yeah, I'm really into just supporting people with where they're at, encouraging them, and you know what? Everyone makes mistakes and you learn, and it's a learning curve when you go vegan. So big rant on that. What else is in the news that's been going on? Oh, people have discovered the secret to making a vegan cheese pull is potato. So people in the lab have been trying to get the best vegan cheese pulls, and potato, I guess, is the secret. There was an article on that. There's always news coming out about like different vegan markets and how they're growing. Like, for instance, the vegan chocolate market is expanding by $2 billion. So from now until 2032, it's going to grow by $2 billion. So that's good. I love when vegan markets expand, because that means more products, cheaper products, fabulous for us. There was a vegan athlete who won a women's pro figure, thing at a world championship for bodybuilding. So that was news a couple months ago. Fantastic for her. Love to see, a vegan winning different sports or athletic type competitions. Love it. There's all kinds of really cool lists out there for like vegan shoe brands and companies. I know a lot of people I've seen criticize vegan leather because they'll say, oh, vegan leather is just plastic, terrible. There's actually other materials that get used, and companies are really innovative. They use apple, so there's apple leather, pineapple leather. What else have I seen? Really a massive list of types of leather. Cactus leather. There was wine grape leaf leather. I mean, the list goes on, but it's not just plastic. And by the way, I'm not going to hate on plastic leather either, because personally I think it's better than animal skin. I just think animal skin is so creepy. If you had to pick between the two, wearing this living creature skin, walking around in its skin, that's disgusting in my opinion. Some people, they're like, hey, recycled fashion, I'm vegan, but I'm wearing this antique or, flea market leather or whatever. I didn't buy it new. I'm not supporting the industry, but I'm just but you're wearing the skin. So I'm not going to hate on you at all, but in my mind, I'm like, ew, that's just my personal ew. And so there's a pair of boots that I wear all the time, combat boots. In Hawaii, I now wear them only when it's around 70 or below. So then I'm like, oh, it's cold weather. It's good boot weather. And they're plastic. That's just how it goes. It's vegan leather, whatever. But I love them. They're my black combat boots. They're vegan. And every time they wear out, I buy the same exact ones. And I love them so much. So go ahead and hate on that, my plastic boots. But I love them, and they keep my feet warm, and they're so cute. So yeah, just non-leather options. There is more than plastic out there. So if you're really anti that type of vegan leather, or if you want to call it pleather or PU, whatever, polyurethane, yada, yada, that's, there's other options. And also cotton and canvas, all those things are out there. Hemp, fabulous. All kinds of materials you can use. Okay, more articles though. I do a lot on diet. So like vegan diet brings major gout relief, another research study said. Love to see it. Honestly, I just come up with all these articles that keep coming out on how good a vegan diet is for health. Gets rid of inflammation. Love it, love it, love it. There's vegan collagen, and the market for that is set to expand. Love to see that. I once saw a TikTok where someone said rubbing banana peels, like the inside on your face, is natural Botox. And I started rubbing banana peels on my face after I would wash. And I'm like, is this doing anything? I don't know. A lot of the skincare, I've never seen something really effective. I have been moisturizing like almost my entire adult life, so I feel like that's helpful as well as being vegan. But who knows? You know, I don't have like a second me, a twin who hasn't been living this way where I can compare myself. That would be so fun if I did, but I don't. So I have no idea. It's all speculation. You know, where would I be? Would my skin look a lot worse without having done this? I don't know. And then I have lots of articles about holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, upcoming Valentine's Day, all the great recipes for those holidays, where to eat in all the major cities, which is really fun. Those are easy to look up, and I just like sharing those for the holidays because it's exciting. You know, you can be vegan and enjoy those holidays as much as anyone else, I say. Also, there was an article on Lenny Kravitz, who's mostly raw vegan, and he looks amazing, and that article is very inspiring, so I posted that. There's a meme that I keep coming back to. So if you don't know, like now I'm doing raw vegan. Like honestly, when I just eat vegan, which I did most of the years I was vegan for sure, it's great. It's just that I'm such a fatty at heart, and you can eat vegan and be so unhealthy because I would find them like tastiest, most unhealthy things to eat. And if they're super processed, you know, not a lot of fiber, doesn't fill you up, you just keep eating. And so I really think like if I stick to raw vegan, for me, it's been super helpful because it's very fiber rich and it does fill me up and I get that nice full filling and I don't tend to overeat. So anyways, it makes me feel the best. And there's this little meme, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's this guy looking over his shoulder and he's kind of naked with it was the top half of him, and he's looking over his shoulder, his bare shoulder, and there's like a majestic mountain in the background with the sun shining, and the line that says over the top of this photo is, when you eat a piece of fruit and feel healthy AF. And it's just him like with the sun shining. I love that meme. You do feel so good eating a piece of fruit. It does feel healthy because it is healthy. People who rag on fruit, by the way, I don't get it. I'm like, you're never going to get fat on fruit. Like, I don't believe you at all. Like, some people are like, yeah, I got to watch my fruit. I'm like, really? Like, I haven't seen it. I don't really believe it. If someone tells me like, yeah, I got real fat on blueberries, I'm like, that sounds insane. I don't believe you at all. But anyways, moving along. I like to get little notes from around the world too. Like, there was one article saying a majority of Dutch people support a transition to more plant-based diet. Awesome. You go, Netherlands, you go. And then there was another study about health saying that plant-based diets show promise in combating multiple GI cancers and other diseases. Like, there's just lots of those types of articles. Also, sometimes I'll post, not too often, but things not 100% on the vegan topic. So you might see those on my BlueSky account. For instance, there was an article that came out about alcohol and how it was so bad for you. It's just like now an obvious cancer causer, and there's no amount that is safe to consume. Is what's basically released. Like, yeah, that one glass of wine a day or whatever, that's not a thing. Like, there is no safe amount. And I used to work in the alcohol industry, and honestly, you could see it, and I knew it. But it's so fun, and you don't want to. believe those things, but it's true. So I don't drink anymore, and it is just for vanity and health reasons. Like, I don't want to feel bad, and I don't want to destroy my body and get sick and look bad too. All of it. Just a big no thanks. So I definitely am pro sobriety. I think that's great. Although I still drink tea. So that's my big vice is tea, which caffeine I know messes with you too. But for now, that's my vice, and I'm not going to feel too bad about it. I do post pictures of the things I make, like especially if they're a pretty photo of a salad. I love that, making a gorgeous, beautiful salad and sharing it. Some of my favorites are like raw vegan Caesar salad and this really delicious tahini garlic tomato dressing that I put on my kale salads, and just making it look gorgeous. So you might see some of my raw vegan salads and other things that I post up there. Then, of course, January was really big for Veganuary. So there's lots of Veganuary stuff. And then actually China is doing, what was it? It's an article I'm not looking at directly, but they're doing something in March. It's called like V March or something. And it's to kind of fit better with their calendar, the Chinese calendar. And so I posted a little about that. So Veganuary in China will be, I think it's called V March, and it starts in March. So anyways, I thought that was kind of interesting and cool. But you know what? I think I'm just going to pause here and say there's so much to get through. I'll try to do these little updates and podcast weekly, so that way I can get through all the articles I posted and share them with you. But there's so darn many, and I find them also interesting and uplifting. There's also a lot of information on what happens on the darker side, so vivisection and industrialized agriculture, and what happens to animals, and the reasons behind why you would want to be an ethical vegan. I don't go into so much of that because I'm already on board, and honestly, it depresses me. So some people, if you're not a vegan, or if you want more information about that, this is not the place for you. I'm definitely going to focus on like things that really uplift me as a vegan and that make me positive and encouraged and optimistic for the future. So that's what I'll really be discussing. But I definitely do support people who kind of dive into the ethical reasons behind it and what's going on in, the world with animals and what's happening, all the negative stuff. Like, that has to be known, and there has to be light shed on it. It's just, I am such a wimp and I just fall apart. So I have to compartmentalize and kind of take myself out of that, because if I think about it or see it too much, I don't even function. I'm sure I'm not the only one like this, but I'm already on board. I don't want any part of that. I definitely want to do what I can to support animals. So this will be my thing, kind of like the positivity, the encouragement, the optimism, like seeing things move forward, because you need some of that too. You need the reason. What's your reason? The why. To me, ethical reasons, pro-animal reasons. I don't want to hurt anything. And then you need the positivity, the wins. So I'm going to be sharing all the wins and positivity with you guys. All right. Well, until next time. Bye.